we're gonna get under here and deal with those.
It was totally easy. I got to take them out today.
BRB.
Ew.
Welcome back to Just Another Car Show. After we got done the tonneau cover and we started getting done the exterior of the car, it's finally time to start tearing apart the interior. The first things I needed to get done was really just get everything out of the interior and just clean it to see what was there and what was nice. I pulled up the seat. That was a bit of a movie because I was here alone, and pulling out a ginormous couch by yourself was a feat.
Our next big goal is to get these seats taken out and then reupholster them. We're pretty much gonna start today tearing apart this entire interior. First big part is the seats. Once the seats come out, this is gonna be a much easier process. But I've done a little bit of reading. Either the seat bracket bolts are up here or they're underneath the car. I'm having a feeling they're underneath the car, so we're gonna get a wrench and get under there and see if we can find them. So I looked at it and I think I found it. There's a couple bolts underneath here. I think they're either 9/16 or 1/2 inch.
So we're gonna get under here and deal with those.
I realized that like the bolts are really long when they come through. So actually I think that sometimes when it goes over curves, when the car was sitting really, really low, I think it was actually hitting those bolts sometimes. And it was bending them back a little bit because they were actually a little bent once I pulled everything out. And I noticed there was a little bit of like rust on the floor. Nothing to concern about right now, but you know, you might want to look into that a little later. Nothing too bad.
You guys have no idea how excited I am to finally take this stupid roll bars out of this car. This one isn't even bolted down. These have been an ugly mess since I bought this car, and I get to take them out today. Finally.
I don't know why someone ever put them in there. They were just for show, and they would never looked good. They weren't even centered. Like, they were off to one side. It was bad.
I think it's time to clean this thing up. I'm gonna get a trash can around here and my vacuum and start to get everything cleaned on up.
Once the seats are out, just realized how dirty the whole thing was. Yeah, it was pretty dirty. I got my vacuum out and I went ham on cleaning everything. I don't think someone's cleaned this interior in 10 years. It was pretty nasty. Things were coming out of the carpet that I don't think should have ever come out of the carpet. And as I was just pulling everything apart, I was just like, it was just nasty.
Look how good this looks. Oh, wow.
You know, the whole point of me pulling this interior apart is because I needed to do a bunch of wiring, and, you know, I want to replace the steering wheel, and I want to do a better radio, and I want to, you know, do a couple little things that were, you know, going to make the car a better car for a daily driver. And once you start tearing into something like that, it's kind of just like a whole can of worms of doing a lot of stuff. You know, it's like while I'm in there, I should do these things.
Another thing we're replacing is the steering wheel. It's one that almost looks exactly the same, but it's nicer and it's not as beat up and everything. We're also going to be changing out this turn signal stock because it's very broken. We have all those parts, so we're going to start pulling this apart right now. Bigger. It's bigger than 7/8.
BRB.
This is the turn signal stock in here. Looks like it's a few Phillips head screws. It looks pretty burnt and it doesn't really click anymore. I have a new one of these, so I think I'm gonna try to like keep the wiring intact. Maybe splice it somewhere farther back or something like that, but I'm definitely need to splice all the new wiring back on, so we'll figure it out. I also don't know where the horn wire is. There's like this horn contact plate on here. Oh, we're gonna figure it out, but old wheel's out. This is all in here. We're gonna pop this part out and figure out what to do. This is day like 100. Basically, these videos are gonna kind of jump around a little bit, so my dash is pretty screwed up. And this being, I'm about to put everything back in this car, like the steering wheel and the rest of the gauges and all this other stuff. So before it all goes in, I think it'd be a really good idea to actually see how easy this is to come off. If it's easy to come off, then we're gonna pull it off and kind of restore it. If it's not easy, I don't know what we're gonna do, but we're gonna figure it out.
Next step was getting the dash off the car so I can get underneath of it and start to get to the different stuff in the car, and get ready to do all the big things.
That is probably the easiest dash I've ever seen it taken out. Wow.
Ew.
Once I got the dash out, I noticed something that was slightly concerning. It was like a foam or something that was sticking out of the glove compartment. Now, I had not got the glove compartment open yet because the key didn't work and couldn't get it open. There was like the stuff there, so I got a screwdriver in there and popped the thing open, and to my surprise, there was a rat's nest.
Ew, ew, ew. Oh. Me.
I found a registration in there from like 2008, so that was probably the last time this car would have been like driven. Was probably around that time, and the rat probably was in there for a few years. A lot of rat and stuff. It just wasn't good. So I took everything from that and dumped it out, got everything ready, and now that everything's cleaned out, it's now finally time to just start picking at things and doing them one at a time to get the interior finished.
The actual headlights themselves don't fit through this hole.